That's how we're doing it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's the Weekend Fan Club. I'm Quinn, one of your many hosts. And guess what? Liam Neeson is racist. We got a doozy of an episode. So buckle your seatbelts.
Wait, what? Intro music!
Welcome to the Weekend Fan Club.
Wait. What?
Good. I'll pick whichever one of those takes is better. Or I might just scatter that one throughout the episode.
Yeah. That's a sample now.
Yeah, that's just a soundbite now.
That's what? It's one of your pads.
My ongoing Jacob soundboard.
Can you also add the Epcot one?
Yes!
That's a landmark.
That is a landmark
Yeah,
episode.
that's gotta be a good one. So yeah.
This is a landmark episode? This shit, right?
Oh yeah. For reference, Jacob is pointing to the small dent in my wall.
After I came back from my hiatus of not recording,
Yeah.
we did a hot entry.
Yeah.
That was
Literally a
one of
hot
few-
entry.
Yeah, literally a hot entry.
Let's crack open a can of Twitter news.
Oh, that was a good fucking pop, man.
That's a good pop.
Shit. Crispy. But yeah, Liam Neeson's racist.
What?
Apparently.
Apparently.
Okay, who wrote?
No
like,
one-
Do you want to just go through like the events as like just like
Okay.
straight no takes, get through all the
Actually,
events.
yeah, no, let's
and
do
then
this
takes.
reading series. Can you
Yeah.
find the article?
I'm gonna find the
Or an
article.
article.
Is this like the
Can
Post
I-
Malone reading series we're about to do? Is that the kind of the vibe we're going
It's
for?
that, I mean, it's that sort of level of,
Okay.
you know.
So
It's not last...
I want to provide some context. You're Imagine you're Liam Neeson, and you're doing an interview for a movie. It's a revenge thriller.
Yeah.
Classic Liam
Classic
Neeson
Liam
stuff.
Neeson.
Except this one is cold.
Oh,
It's called Cold Pursuit.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Can I
taken
talk
but
about
cold.
Because
Okay.
we saw the trailer for it just last night. And I really wish they had named the movie Mr. Plow.
That's true. And missed opportunity. The slogan is not "Revenge is a dish best served cold." Maybe because it was too obvious and too good.
Too good.
Hollywood says they're taking leaps and bounds. They need to take more risks.
Yeah.
But anyway, so to give you some context, it all started when I was looking at Twitter at work because
What else are you?
what else am I gonna do? So I look at it, and the first thing I see on this article says, Liam Neeson says he sought race-based violence after someone he knew was raped. Now, I read this article wrong at first. Because I thought it read like...
Rape-based violence?
Race-based violence.
Oh.
Yes. So, when I first read this, I thought to myself, I read it completely wrong at first. My first initial reaction was, aw shit, does Liam Neeson about to just have some fucking street justice to some dude? This is like a fucking Liam Neeson movie right out the gate.
Yeah.
Aw shit. And then I read into the article and I was like, no, I'm very wrong. I hate this.
I'm very wrong.
I thought he was like, I want to dish out some street justice, punk.
Okay.
Like fucking Taken style.
So...
Not the
literally.
case.
I gotta be honest, my favorite part of this story, and maybe this is the wrong takeaway, but I love that this came up unprompted.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just
So he
launched into this story.
So
where he was
I'll read
like-
the article. I have it
Yeah,
here.
let's get
So-
in here.
Right here it says, look, the head of the article, like the head of
Who's the news source?
the Independent.
But no, it's from an interview he did. It's
Like-
not like someone had to dig up the story.
No, this is
he
a-
did the
yeah.
interview?
Yeah.
This
they were
was
interviewing him,
supposed to be about the
hey,
movie.
what's your favorite part of the movie? And he just, I almost tried to kill a person.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
So-
well, yeah, they were talking. They said something about like it's another revenge thriller. Like, how do you feel playing characters that are always about revenge?
So let me
And
just
he's
read
like,
the
No,
article.
I sought revenge one time. Like
Yeah,
that kind of-
let me just
Okay.
read the article and we'll figure it out. So
Yeah.
it says right here, Liam Neeson has revealed he once walked the streets with a kosh. And a kosh is like a weapon. Yeah. With a kosh for days, looking to kill, quote, a black bastard after someone close to him was raped many years ago. The actor shared the
Okay, time out. Why black?
Again,
We'll get there.
Okay.
I'll get there.
All right.
The actor shared the previously undisclosed story with The Independent during a press junket for his new film Cold Pursuit, admitting that he is now ashamed of his past awful behavior. Neeson, who has starred in films such as Taken and Nonstop, recalled being told about the rape after he returned from a trip overseas. Quote, "She handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way," Neeson said during the interview, which can be read full here, whatever. Quote, "But my immediate reaction was, did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said he was a black person. I went up and down the streets with a kosh, hoping I'd be approached by someone. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping someone," Neeson gestures air quotes with his fingers, "black bastard, would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could kill him." Qui-Gon, what the fuck?! You were supposed to be the chosen one! Neeson said it took him about a week or a week and a half to process what had happened. Quote, "It was horrible, horrible when I think back that I did that, and I never admitted that, and I'm saying it to a journalist, God forbid." So, the worst part is that he fucking knew. Like, damn.
What do you mean he knew?
Like, he knew it was... Like, he knew he shouldn't have told that to a journalist, and he fucking did it anyway. Which is kind of hilarious. And then he added, quote, "It's awful, but I did learn a lesson from it, which I eventually thought, what the fuck are you doing, I understand the need for revenge, but it leads to more revenge, to more killing and more killing." Neeson shared the personal story after being asked to give more insight into his Cold Pursuit character Nels Coxman need for revenge after his son is killed by a drug gang. Quote, "I think the audience members live to see that." Now it just goes into talking about the movie.
Time out.
So yeah, that's it.
Time out.
That's the whole article.
His character's name is Nels Coxman.
Yeah.
And?
That's one of the greatest names ever.
Yeah, it's
That's not a
great.
bad name.
Nels? It sounds like
It's
a nickname
it's
for an
it's just like it's an unfortunate name, but then it's followed up by Coxman. Like, you don't
Nels?
fuck with a dude
Nels
named
is-
Coxman.
Are we gonna keep doing that? Are we gonna keep naming people like
Nels?
Coxmans and...
Well,
Are we
you
gonna
don't
keep
really
calling-
choose.
That's a surname. You don't really
You
get.
don't get to.
Are we gonna call...
Well, I guess you do, but
Well, you
at
do.
the same time,
Yeah,
most people
it's,
don't.
It's a name. Like, it's...
So just people
Are we
with
gonna keep calling
with
Richard
bad
Dix?
last names,
Like,
we're just gonna not
You
appropriate
gotta
with.
normalize Dix and Cox, dude.
Yeah, come on, man. It's 2019.
Good point, but
I just want to say off the top that this does follow my prediction that this year would be maybe not as bad as 2018, but still pretty bad, but definitely dumber.
Yeah.
And like weirder.
No one asked.
I like that.
Why?
I like that prediction. I think
I've
that's
been
just because of
watching
the number
too
19.
much of The Office. And
Yeah,
this
you
reads
really gotta
to-
slow down.
What this reads to me is Liam Neeson is sitting in this interview, and he's like, "Man,
He went full Michael Scott.
I feel like maybe it was a convoluted way to get cool points. Like, maybe if I admit to this thing and say that I learned from it and that I'm better now, people will like me more. But then it's that thing where he admits something just batshit insane, and people are like, no, what?
Go back. What?
A full week?
What?
Yeah. So yeah,
I got a lot
that
of
was my initial reaction. I read that and was just like, oh man, he's about to dish out some fucking street justice. Then I read it and I was like, nope, take it back.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So
It's kind of hard to engage with. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to... Because, like, it sounds pretty dark.
Yeah.
The whole thing's pretty dark in reality. Like,
yeah, it's unfortunately
him and
dark.
someone he cares about are going through something very real and also fucked up.
Yeah.
And it just turns out that he dealt with it in a shitty way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a problematic take on, a
I mean,
problematic...
thank God nothing happened, but
Yeah.
still, like, shit. I mean,
but at the same time,
And like, hopefully,
do better.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
he said he learned. Hopefully, he's learned, and he identifies that
Hey,
the whole racial
I mean,
aspect
yeah.
is incredibly
That's-
bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's my main takeaway
I hope he's
from
not
this.
taking
Which-
away the fact that, going out to finding, blood is a bad thing. Like, no.
The bad thing is
I
The
the
hope-
bad thing is
I-
also
I hope it
searching
didn't,
for a black dude to kill.
I hope it didn't come from, like, he already hated black people, and this just gave him an outlet.
Just-
Like,
yeah.
if she had said he had glasses, would he have just walked around looking for people with glasses?
No,
to
I
beat
think
up?
the main issue is the fact that that was his first question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big
The
issue.
first
with, like,
thing out of his mouth
like,
was,
what
who
color
was it?
was
Was
he?
he black? And it's like,
What?
what the fuck does that, what? Like, that,
Wait!
those aren't hand in hand.
Almost an outlet for comedy if he was like, who was he? I don't know. Did he drive a Prius? What?
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 I just
that's
wanna,
the
I
Jake-
want to beat up people that drive Priuses.
That's
This
his-
could be a good
Yeah, that's a
outlet.
Jake Peralta. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So
But-
that was my takeaway from it, was the fact that he
What?
acknowledged that he was like, that's fucked up. I did something fucked up. And he was like, thank God nothing bad came from it. And I'm like, until you fucking told someone in an interview about it that had nothing to do with what you were saying.
Yeah.
And what are the press people for the movie? Just
Oh.
like stay by like.
And I read now,
Yeah.
when I was reading the story, the person who, like,
Nels
ran-
Coxman?
No, the person who ran the
Just
person who,
finding reasons to say the name.
Yeah.
the person at the Independent who ran the article, she tweeted out afterward and was just like, me and my
Team,
me and my
whatever.
team, my legal advisors, everything, we ran this story through our heads literally 1,000 times, wondering,
Should we
shit,
do this?
like how, like why, what do we have to fucking run this,
Yeah.
but they didn't want to run it in like a, Liam Neeson's
Racist!
yeah.
Yeah, because, like, he's old. And he's...
Like,
But he says it happened years ago,
Yeah.
which you know.
still
How many?
badass.
And it happened years ago, and he says he learned from it. But like, there are a lot of questions to be had. Like,
There's a lot of...
how
yeah.
many? He's old, so like, how many years
How
are
many-
we talking?
How many times has he, maybe have done this before he realized, oh, that's not good.
We can only hope
Well, it
this
was
was the only
spurred on by a
time.
very specific event, and hopefully that hasn't happened to people he knows multiple times.
True, but it's also the question of, like, if he's frustrated,
I thought of a very weird scenario in my head just now,
okay, let's
where
do
like
it.
something terrible happens to one of Liam Neeson's friends, and they're like, don't tell him anything about what the person looked like, because he will roam the streets trying to beat
Yeah.
up people that
He
look
will
like
find
the person
you.
that did
And
it.
he will kill you.
one
Yeah.
really curious outcome of this is that he's almost setting an example of criticism against the characters he plays in his movies, because that's what they look like in real life. He's about to be in a revenge movie where and he's known for revenge movies where he gets violent.
A little bit, yes. There
I'm
are
just
some.
saying, like, the
The
specifics.
differences are it's
You're
only
saying
on
that he
it's,
got typecast?
it's only
Oh,
on
Liam Neeson's been typecast for years. Since
It's
Taken.
typecast from his
it's only on
personality?
technicality that he gets that I think his characters would get a pass.
Right,
because
right, yeah.
they actually know who did it.
Right.
And the people that did it are like inherently bad all the way through, and like
Well, they at least frame it that way in the movies,
yeah.
and that's true. Like, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there's specific details to iron out, but I mean, just in general.
It is pretty close enough to be like, maybe I won't see Cold Pursuit.
Oh, I don't.
I'll still
I,
see Cold Pursuit. Liam
I
Neeson's not
won't.
canceled for me.
I won't.
No,
I just don't like his films. I
Oh, yeah?
don't like him as an actor, honestly.
Oh really? I
Yeah.
really like him as an actor.
Yeah, I've since Taken.
No.
Like,
I don't think he's like
unstoppable.
he's not like, whoa, gotta see this Liam Neeson movie.
I
He always
just
gives
don't-
like a Oscar performance, but like
yeah.
he's
I don't-
always entertaining.
I
for
don't think
me.
he has range.
Oh, not at all.
No.
He doesn't have range. He
he
plays
did.
one thing. He did. Now he just plays one thing. And honestly,
Well, then
it's,
again,
it's
like,
really funny to watch all the movies he's in that have a revenge plot or something like that, and just imagine it's the same person just having like the worst month ever.
yeah. And it's also, like, why do we say, like, Nick Cage has no range when...
No one says Nick Cage has no range. Nick Cage,
That man is all
Nick
range.
Cage has got some range.
he only has range.
Yeah.
I've heard the opposite, but I can see where, like, your people would say, yeah, he has range, he just isn't good or whatever. And then we get to the community episode of is Nick Cage bad? But we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today. But it's like when people are typecast as actors, and people are like, "Oh yeah, he's just such a bad actor. He's typecast. He can't do anything else." But then Liam Neeson's kind of it feels like Liam Neeson has kind of been left out of that discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I see what you mean.
And
Yeah,
that probably goes with him being old and having been an actor for a long time.
True. And like the first thing I ever saw with him was Qui-Gon. I don't really know what else he did before that or really after that because it was basically. Fuck.
Gotta be honest, that's the main one I think of.
Yeah.
And it's always weird because.
Yeah, because I totally forgot. And you know what? That's one of my favorite movies too. And I totally just clicked that that's Liam Neeson. Whoa!
Yeah.
What? I just had a wake up call.
I just think of him post Taken, and like, yeah, I guess there's definitely the nuance of he's typecast and only does one thing, but I like the one thing he does. I like Taken 3 personally. We can go down this rabbit hole. This will tie into our later discussions in this episode, but
I think I've clearly watched Taken 3.
But Taken 3 in particular just like kind of jumps the shark and becomes so campy and ridiculous, and I'm like, here.
Oh yeah, no, it's very
Taken
good.
2 was bad.
Taken 2 is the worst one because it was
just the same movie again, but not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Taken 3 embrace it. The main bad guy in Taken 3 shows that he's this tiny Russian guy wearing a robe and like his undies in his house with 2 like Uzis in either hand, just like ah!
Oh yeah, they ran
like,
with it. It was great.
Wow. Very weird.
Almost like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
And Forrest Whitaker's there, and it's like...
Forrest Whitaker's
Yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah.
Forrest Whitaker detective is chasing him down the whole time, but like he's wise, so he knows that Liam Neeson's gonna drop him.
Yeah.
He's just like, they're like, "Sir, we gotta go chase him." He's like, "There's no point. He's gone." And you're like,
Which I always love in villains when they're just like, nah, fuck it, they got away.
yeah.
Weird. I just, like... Liam Neeson. Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like, has he had...
It's unprompted.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
right?
completely
Has he had
unprompted.
any, like, hot takes before or any issues
No.
before? No.
I saw the tweet after this that was like, "This is the year of people confessing to things no one asked them about."
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And then, yeah, I'm not going to do that hot take. I've had a long day. I'll
Yeah.
just leave that there.
So the main event.
On to our main
Oh,
story.
man. Whew.
We saw Serenity last night.
What is that?
Oh.
You know what? It's great that you're here so you can bounce this off you to ground this.
So do you want us to spoil the whole thing
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah, I
say
don't
that.
give a shit.
Okay,
If
so
I don't know the...
Because you still might want to see it after this.
I feel like this is going to be like a Prisoners kind of situation, like where we watch it years later and be like, oh, this was a fantastic movie.
This will not be that.
This will not be that?
We
Okay.
guarantee it.
Connor's pulling something up.
yeah, I just want to say it.
So when did you see it?
Last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
From here on, spoilers for the film Serenity, directed by Stephen Knight, starring Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway, released in 2019.
Thank you.
So, we have just some context before we even tell you what the movie's about. Before we even tell you like what we did when we got in the movie theater.
You guys shared an article in the group, right?
Yeah.
About
So
Can we talk about that before I launch
yeah.
it? 'Cause I
So
didn't really get
so the thing is, the article came out. The article I shared on the I shared an article with
marketing
the guys.
and how it's
basically
not performing.
Yeah,
Oh,
they.
didn't the studio like
Yeah,
give up on
The
it or
studio had or should we want to start with this? So
Yeah, yeah.
basically,
Yeah, I just want
the movie's being critically panned more or less, and the studio has dropped the like promotion for the movie. They're
Yeah,
gonna
so-
they're gonna
so
send
to
them
get-
to all the talk shows, the junket, and they
To get-
push that.
to
the
get-
advertising firm also
Yeah,
dropped
to get advertisers to like, promote a film, they have to show it to a test screening,
Yeah.
and then they'll find out what they liked about it, and then
Yeah.
they'll promote those things in the ad.
Yeah. Classic marketing.
They did the audience didn't like any of it, like at all.
Just
So,
at all.
just at all.
They
So they
did.
tweaked it a little bit, showed them again, and they still didn't like anything. And then by those numbers, they were like, we literally can't justify any budget for ads.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why you've probably never heard of this movie.
Like, I remember seeing a trailer.
I've seen a trailer.
That's a
in
trailer
the
months
movie.
ago.
Yeah. I think we all watched that movie when it, because we were all like, ooh.
Yeah, it might have been Overlord even.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
I think
even
that was. Yeah.
even like now, like that's why you haven't seen any trailers for it now. Now that the movie's out,
Yeah.
or commercials or
the-
anything,
the production was just like,
we literally can't justify giving any money to an ads.
They
why?
sent it out to die.
Because it was just that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's let's talk about what the word bad means in this context. Of
So
course,
so for the context, we walked into the theater.
Oh, can we say also how we found the movie? How I
Okay, yeah.
I convinced you guys
Short
to see it,
take.
so-
How did you find the movie?
So I had seen some articles that were saying this movie has the most insane twist of 2019, and it's only January.
Amazing.
And I was-
Wait, what's your take?
Of
The movie. Short take of the movie.
How we found it? You mean?
Yes.
I'm lost.
Oh, it was
I
me.
saw
After that, I told the guys we had.
That's
to see
it.
I mean,
He's
I saw
lost.
a trailer for it and I was like, this looks kind of
Okay.
dull.
All right. So, you read articles that it says,
Right.
oh yeah, this is the craziest twist of 2019 and it's January and nothing will beat this?
And then I googled the movie, and then it was about 50% articles saying this movie's total shit. It's really bad, and this movie is so insane that even if you spoil it for yourself, nothing can possibly prepare you for what happens in this movie.
And they were right.
And they were right. Yeah, actually, we should say also that I spoiled the movie for myself going in because I was curious, and the guys didn't. It was
Okay.
just me going in.
And we all had pretty much
Just
the
some
same
facts
experience.
about the watching experience. I laughed out loud, hysterically,
Wait,
in a
it's not-
basically empty theater.
It's
There
not
were-
a comedy.
Again,
No.
So, like I said, we got into the theater, we got our food, we took our tickets, walked into the theater, and as we were walking in, an old lady walked out. The movie hadn't started yet. Like, time play was going on.
Yeah.
Lady walks out, she looks at me, she goes, "What time does the movie start?" I said, 4:30. And she looked, and I look at my phone and just be like, what the fuck? Like, am I fucked up on this? I look at my phone, it's like 4:25. And then she goes, "Are you seeing this movie?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she goes, "Okay." And then walks away. I never saw her again.
That's a ghost.
So, like,
That was kind of weird.
gone. So we get into the
We
theater.
saw a movie at 4:30, a bunch of nerds.
So we walk into the theater, and as soon as we
What day
turn
was
the
this?
corner...
Saturday? Sunday?
Sunday.
Hold
So we walk in and we turn the corner. There is not one fucking soul in that theater.
like literally.
And it is 5 minutes before the movie starts.
Now, to be fair though, between then and the movie starting,
Yes.
we were
Probably 20 people
yeah,
showed
I
up.
was thinking
That's
20
generous.
Yeah.
people. 10 to 20.
That is a generous 20 people. So I'd say maybe 12, really.
Okay.
But, so we sat down, we watched the film. We'll get into what we saw in the film, but at an hour into the movie, 2 people walked out.
just walked out.
Walked
Yeah,
out.
they walked
just
out of
left.
the movie.
And then, like, I think it was
I've never heard of that.
and then I think it was like an hour and a bit. Like
Yeah.
maybe an hour and a half. I nudge Quinn and I look over. 2 more people walk out. 5 people have left this movie now.
Yeah.
Yo.
At the end of the movie, there was an older couple sitting next to me, and people behind them, and they turned to people next to me, turned to people behind them, like, "Well, that just might have been the worst thing I've ever seen." And they were like, "Yeah, that was bad, hey."
So now we've painted the picture for you of what this
Guys, like
fucking
I'm thinking
film-
this is worse than like New Fantastic Four.
No. Let's be clear here. You're like,
Do
you
I
need to sort of reshape your thoughts on what good and bad mean and criticism in general.
without saying any events in the movie, give your opinion on the movie. Like if you liked it, and would you watch it again?
Us?
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed every second of this movie. I would wholeheartedly recommend it to anybody with an imagination. I think it was a great watch.
Okay.
I second that.
I saw the movie The Favorite like 2 days before this.
What
and
is that? What is that?
The Favorite, it's like a comedy period piece directed by this weird like Greek director. It's nominated for like 10 Oscars.
Holy shit.
It
Yeah.
was a ride the whole way through. I was glued to the screen. I was equally glued to the screen during this movie. I don't know which one I want to see again next.
So The Favorite was phenomenal? Is that what
The
you're
Favorite
saying?
was phenomenal through and through. This one was equally entertaining.
But
But
not the
for
critical
not-
darling, the
But
favorite.
not
is.
the critical darling.
Okay, so is this going to be like critics are unreasonably dumping on this movie?
I personally think so.
Yeah.
Though, remember that bit about Taken 3 earlier? A lot of people hated Taken 3.
Are they
Yeah.
leaning into...
They're
Like,
leaning into something.
Okay, alright. Okay.
What'd you think, John? Or you said same thing?
I second exactly what you said.
Yeah, and which is kind of cool where the guys hadn't spoiled the movie, so they were, for a lot of it, piecing it together, where I knew what was happening.
And
But-
you were still like, what?
And it's true what they say, because even knowing the twists of the movie, watching it unfold, how they set it up and how it unfolds is kind of incredible.
I had guesses. Throughout the movie, I had guesses in the general vicinity of what the twist was, like as I was getting clues, but I didn't expect it to go that
And
hard.
they do ease you into it a little. They drop a lot.
So let's explain the premise.
Yeah, do you want
Just to give you an
Like, they have a star-studded cast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and let's say that before too is that they're furious about the reception of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Before it
The
came
two of
out,
them are pissed?
Anne Hathaway posted a long Instagram post just like, man, if you're actually into stuff that's intriguing, intellectually
Thought-provoking.
challenging, thought-provoking, sexy, you should really check this out. I really think it's a great movie. And they're pissed that the studios are abandoning the movie.
Oh, has that happened in recent memory?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I usually don't get the actors.
I don't see it on the people that I follow.
I guess usually when this happens in a movie, people don't hear about it because it gets
Because
dropped,
it
right?
gets dropped, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is an anomaly. Okay.
And this is they're the. Did we mention that they're the Interstellar?
yeah, they're the, yeah.
Yeah.
So like
They were
that's
the
huge.
leads for a killer film.
Mm.
Alright.
So yeah,
you want
the
to dive
premise.
into what it is?
The premise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to hear premise
Pre-twist.
and then
Yeah.
I want
Pre-twist,
to
yeah.
hear what, are the twists.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So-
we'll unpack this.
Yeah,
whole
we'll
thing.
unpack it for you.
unpack
Nice little bow. The
Matthew
premise
Mc-
is Matthew McConaughey, and he's a fisherman.
Yeah, he works on a boat with a
Just
guy
a
with his
casual
friend named
fisherman.
Duke.
Yeah.
Yep.
They fish tuna.
Is that like Chops from your comic back in high school?
I don't know why you bring that up so often.
'Cause it's
it
honestly-
honestly perplexes
It's
me.
honestly one of your greatest accomplishments in
I
our
would
friendship.
have forgotten that ever happened.
No, man, I thought it was friggin' sick. I thought it was
This
a
is
friggin'.
very
What's
weird.
this?
We
You know,
I can't believe
you
we're
know,
talking
you
about
know
this.
Mole
again.
Day?
Yeah, I know Mole Day.
For Mole Day, I wrote like a spoof of like Indiana Jones as like a comic, and it revolved around Mole Day.
Right.
So I drew an Indiana Jones spoof comic about Mole Day, and in it I had like a sidekick character named Chops, who had big mutton chops,
Nice.
and he was based off the blue character from Spelunky.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, with the chops.
Yeah, with, like the
Nice.
turtle hat.
I think I vaguely remember this.
And throughout my life, that's one of the callbacks that Jacob has brought up on
Repeatedly.
more occasions than he should.
I should say for the uninitiated, so Quinn doesn't sound totally out to lunch, that there is a school project at the high school we went to where you make something creative out of Mole Day.
Yeah.
1023.
Yeah.
1023, baby. Never forget.
So yeah, Matthew McConaughey is a fisherman who fishes tuna and sometimes takes tourists on his boat to go fishing for money.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's also
Real blue collar.
there's no money in the tuna. Usually it's in catching other fish like the swordfish. The tuna, he's mainly after this one tuna that's been evading him, like a more extreme. Oh, what?
Now-
First bomb the drop. The tuna's name, or the name he gives the tuna, is Justice. Matthew McConaughey is a fisherman trying to catch a tuna named Justice.
He named a fish.
Yeah. So alternate
Trying to catch a fish named Justice is a much better title for this movie.
yeah.
Now just a fish named
Yeah,
Justice.
100%.
Let's be clear, we have not started yet. This is like
Yeah,
No,
this
no,
is
no.
like 10 minutes into the movie.
So
If that.
the movie starts and he's trying to, and he's out with these tourists trying to catch this fish or whatever, and then he reels a fucking fish, he hooks it, and he's like, "Oh, no, this is him, Duke, this is him." And then the tourist is like, "Fuck off! Like, you took me out here to fish. I want to fish." And he literally pulls a fucking knife on this tourist. He's like, "Fuck! this is mine, and I'm like, oh shit. So
He's
he
really
fucking-
passionate about a fish.
And no joke, like he puts on like a fucking harness, like you know one of those hook harnesses
yeah.
that like professional fishermen use. So he pulls this fucking harness on, hooks himself in, and starts fucking trying to hook this fish for like 2 hours, and then he loses it, and he's pissed.
So there's just
So-
a slow burn.
Well,
No.
that's the setup.
That's just this very beginning setup.
You know, it shows
You realize
continuities.
later you realize later he's very poor.
Okay.
Like he can barely pay anything. One of his friends.
Where's this set? Because like
Plymouth?
A Plymouth Island, the Caribbean style looking island.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So it's in the middle of nowhere. It's far away from everything else. So Plymouth Island is there, and he goes back home, and he has a friend ? Who he's like a hooker sometimes. 'Cause
Wait.
he fucks his friend, and then she gives him money because he doesn't have money for gas. So it's kind of weird, but that's the thing. Anyway,
Who's the hooker? Who plays?
it's just some. No, he is the hooker
He's the hooker.
because she
Okay.
pays him.
So
Sometimes.
who plays the friend?
I don't.
Anybody of
No,
note?
no one of note. So she's also like, "Have you seen my cat? Like, if you see my cat, bring him back." And
Is
then
the cat gonna be a twist?
no,
Okay.
the cat is literally just like sometimes there's a cat, and every time he sees the cat, he's like, "I gotta bring
John's
the cat
mentioning
back."
it as a mislead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
We gotta fill up this hour.
you know, it's a strange movie, and it's very full of misleads, and everything is kind of odd. I think you can probably tell pretty early on that things are kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it's almost surreal.
They named a fish Justice.
The
I mean,
whole-
besides that,
I
just
mean,
the way
as-
everyone talks.
As kind of a general note, the whole movie kind of treats itself like its own trailer.
Yeah.
Everybody,
What?
Everybody talks like whatever's happening is the most important thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't understand.
There's
what
like,
you're saying.
and there's also this guy in a suit who looks like John Oliver.
Yeah, but like
What?
smaller, like a
Yeah.
skinnier John Oliver.
Yeah, like a smaller John Oliver, and he has a suitcase, and like he is consistently trying to find Matthew McConaughey, but he always misses him at the last second.
What is this? 1950s?
Okay,
He's very out of place.
he's
I'll give
very
you that
out of
much.
place.
Yeah, he's trying to walk in from a different.
So after a while, you meet Anne Hathaway, like as her
Smoke.
character, right? Smoke show.
Smoke.
She shows up, and then you find out that her and Matthew McConaughey used to be married, and they're divorced or whatever, and then they have a son between them, right? Named Patrick, and Patrick locks himself away in his room. He doesn't live on the island; he lives away.
he lives with
She's
Anne
in a-
Hathaway.
He lives with Anne Hathaway.
In the U.S., I think.
She is in an abusive relationship with her new husband,
Jason Clarke.
Jason Clarke.
Was he in a comedy with Mia Kunis last year?
I don't know.
Maybe he's been in a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah.
He was in First Man.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Nobody saw
So-
First Man but me.
So yeah.
You cinephile.
So Anne Hathaway is in an abusive relationship with her husband, and she shows up to Matthew McConaughey, and she says, "Listen, I will pay you $10 million to take my husband out on a fishing trip, throw him overboard off coast, and come back." Because she sees that as the only way out of her relationship,
Why?
and that's
Because he says he's very rich and strongly connected. If she just tries to get away from him, he will find a way. He will find her and kill her. She alleges.
So
that's the premise of the film.
Why is she rich and he's dirt poor?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, if the
The husband is rich. The new husband is rich, not her.
so how is she? Is this just like, oh, this is your will? You get? Is this what we're trying to
I mean,
do?
they're
I'm
married.
thinking of continuity in the narrative here, folks.
Oh well, if he dies accidentally, then she'll get the money.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
If
Fair.
if
And
it's
it's
a
to
freak
save
accident,
the son too.
yeah,
Yeah,
He
that's how
because
she
he
gets
wants
him.
to do it for the son.
That's how
it.
she gets him because he resists her temptations, and he's only doing it for the son.
Yeah,
Yeah, they say that in the movie.
Literally.
Actually, no, they're right.
they
That's right.
literally
Yeah, no,
say
you're right.
resist temptation.
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey's like, Duke, I need you to come on the boat with me so I don't kill this guy. You gotta deliver
Actually,
me
no.
from temptation.
Yeah, that's his exact words. Is deliver him from temptation.
What a script.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
So that's the premise of the film.
Can I get like a cold drink before we
Absolutely.
get a big twist?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, done.
Absolutely. It's a lot to take in. Trust me.
in sensory
Dude,
I'm
your
not
senses know
overfishing
nothing.
justice.
your senses know nothing.
I feel like I undersold The Favorite.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
I'm very excited to see The Favorite.
It's ridiculously good. Like, it's in my top 3 of the year.
I know nothing about it. Just your recommendation and the talk about it.
Can't believe we're gonna have 2 crisp can opens in one pod.
There it is.
Act 2. A
Oh.
fish named Justice. No.
There it is.
A twist named Justice.
Where we at? Real
The
quick?
fish is a part of the twist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a sense.
There's
I mean, the whole movie
there's
is
a
part of the twist,
definitive
right?
yes.
The twist does permeate everything you see in the movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
what
saying yes.
What time are we at, real quick?
We are at 35 minutes.
Beautiful, crisp.
Beautiful.
So
Nice. Well done.
some more things that are weird about the movie up to this point. Every time he talks to someone, they know
Matthew
everybody.
McConaughey?
Yeah, every time.
What's his name
Oh,
in
we,
the film?
Dill Baker
Dill, yeah.
or Baker Dill,
Baker Dill.
Baker Dill.
but he goes
That's
by
probably
Dill.
better.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nels Coxman.
Nels
So he goes around the island and they do this small island, everyone knows everything thing. But like it's kind of uncanny how
Everybody.
Yeah.
every conversation with everybody, everyone knows everything.
So, like, he goes to the tackle shop, and he starts talking to the missus just to get, like, his stuff from the shop. And then as he's talking to her, the missus at the shop is just like, yeah, seen that lady come in off the plane the other day talking about Anne Hathaway. And it's just like, husband's really rich, too. I hear he beats her a lot. And I'm like, what the... And, like, it's very subtle, just kind of, like, thrown in there. Like, yeah, no, you're only going to do it for the... It's like, yeah, no, you're only going to do it for the son. Looks like she got a lot of money. And you're like, what the fuck? Does everyone just know that he's going to try and kill this man? Like, what the fuck? And even Matthew McConaughey is just like, what did you just say? And then they're just like, nothing.
And then there's other uncanninesses, like everyone says you're just trying to catch the tuna that's in your head. And then-
what?
And then
Is that gonna have any bearing on the reality of the movie?
the other thing, what was the other one? I can't remember. Anyways.
So yeah, there's also the old man in the bar. Is that what you're gonna go for?
Old
What
West.
does he say?
Yeah, Old West. Well, that's what he says. It's just that he's there because they're like, hey, you don't want to turn out like Old West.
No, I
Who's-
never picked up on that actually.
No, you never picked up on that.
I don't know what you're
Because
talking
remember when he was in the bar? There's an old man in the bar,
Yeah, I do
and
remember
his
that.
name is Old West, and he's just like, you're always hunting that. You're always hunting that fish in your head. Just go and catch it. And he's like, unless you're gonna end up like Old West over there, because he never did catch his fish, and now he's just this depressing fuck.
Oh yeah.
Which is why later
See it.
when he sits in the chair,
Oh, he sits in his chair. I gotcha. The whole. Mm-hmm.
that's not a twist though.
That's not really. That's just like.
That's just like-
I think we have to
That's
get
just
to the
filming.
twist.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we've
What is-
got to peel this
Yeah,
Band-Aid.
Connor, tell us the twist.
So I can't just peel this off. I don't know how to do that. You know, I respect you too much
Okay.
to just thrust that on you. But so
What if I asked you to?
He's asking
as
you.
the
to
more
thrust.
there's
As
this
a friend.
constant conflict.
To Jake
That's
Thrust.
kind
I
of
need
seems
you
natural.
to J thrust this twist.
There's this natural conflict of him wanting to catch the tuna, and him thinking about killing the husband out in the ocean.
Okay.
And they're at odds with each other. But then everyone on the island also seems to be aware of the conflict. Like, it just seems like the whole movie is just back and forth with these two things. So, when they start talking about his son, it shows clips of their son, and they say he's a gifted kid. He spends a lot of time by himself. As Matthew Drake said, he's smart. It's just that he can't thrive because of his living situation. And then it shows him behind his computer screen all the time, covered up. And then you can
What's-
see him writing code.
What?
And you can see screens of water and a boat on the computer screen. Matthew McConaughey also has a pretty strong connection with the son, and you get these little nuggets where it's like he speaks to him, even though he's on the island and the son's in the US somewhere. They can kind of speak with each other, and they also drop the idea that the son also really wants the husband to die. Anne Hathaway even says it was his idea. It was Patrick's idea.
Yeah, it
kill
was
him.
the son's idea to throw him out at sea.
So,
Okay.
the skinny man from before, the 50s man looking dude, The day before Matthew
Wait,
McConaughey's...
who?
Remember
the
John
bartender?
Oliver?
The guy in the
the-
suit.
The John Oliver looking guy with the
Okay,
suit.
yeah,
With the briefcase. The day before he's gonna go kill the guy out on the boat, the guy in the briefcase finds Matthew McConaughey at night and he says, "Sir, I really need to talk to you about something." And he tries to sell Matthew McConaughey a fishing tracker for free trial, and he can just show you where the fish are. And he's like, "No, what are you doing? It's 2 a.m. What? Like, are you
Why
shitting
are
me
you
right
doing
now?"
this? Yeah.
He says he lets slip, "Sir, I am the rules.
I am the rules?
I am the rules."
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
All right, you ready?
Okay.
This whole movie takes place inside a fishing video game that the son modded to plant his father, who died in Iraq, into the game. And then he made his dad in the game take his actual stepfather in the game and kill him in a fantasy that he portrayed. And at the end of the movie, when Matthew McConaughey kills the husband, the son also, in real life, goes and kills his stepfather in the house.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yes.
A fishing video game!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, take a seat. We're gonna backtrack.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah.
Just as like a fun thought, imagine you're one of the marketing execs and they hand you the Matthew McConaughey fishing simulator Matrix movie and they're like, "Here, make a trailer for this." Can you imagine?
I'm like,
Can you imagine the
There's
day you
no
would
way-
have?
Now we know why they didn't have an ad, right?
Oh no,
don't
my
erase my
drawings.
drawings, please. I want to take a picture of them.
Oh yeah, let me do that now.
Yeah, I'll do that now
Take
too.
a picture now so
For
I
the-
can do a fucking mind
For the
map
folks
on
at
that board.
home, there's a
Yeah.
little whiteboard here on John's couch, and me and Quinn
We
have
need
been
to be able to
doodling on
hang
it.
Yeah, it's not that nice.
I
It's
only
just
got
a
it
pretty
recently, so I
normalized
don't-
whiteboard.
Can we share
I
them on
need the
Twitter?
hardware to put it up.
Can we share the drawings on the Twitter?
Yes.
I guess we have to
I'm just
now.
trying to get pictures that have no shadows on the board.
Cool. I guess we'll just cut all this.
What do you mean you'll cut all this?
I said we.
Quinn will
Said
cut
we-
none of it.
So,
Where do you want to go from here,
Actually,
Jacob?
no, you go.
can you just actually say it again? I don't
Okay.
think I'm actually processing
Okay,
it.
So like the scene or just the twist?
just
That whole last
what?
thing I said?
Yeah.
Does someone else want to take it this time?
So, the 50 guy shows up and he's like, "I'm the rules," and Matthew McConaughey is
The
like,
John Oliver guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
What-
Oliver.
what
looked-
role did he
Also,
play?
by the way, the reason he slips and says "I'm the rules" is because Matthew McConaughey has like sort of pressured him into drinking like 3 glasses of rum, and
Yeah.
the rules of Matthew McConaughey's world are drunk,
Yeah.
which is just a whole other thing.
And
The rules of a video game are drunk and admit that
And
they are the rules.
Up until this point of the game, all you see this guy doing is he's wandering around the island trying to find Matthew McConaughey. And every time he goes out in the boat, the guy's running down the dock after him, like, wait, I have to talk to you. But he always misses him because Matthew McConaughey is out of sync with what this guy's trying to do.
Yeah.
Because he's rogue code in the game.
So Matthew McConaughey has gone sentient.
Yeah.
Almost.
They do drop the words artificial intelligence neural network, but I really wish they hadn't because that's a little too trying to tie it to something real is a little too
Yeah.
You don't need to make this movie be real, you know?
So
Like,
here's
So
here's
Matthew
another thing.
McConaughey's whole life, or no, right? Because the thing is, like Matthew McConaughey vaguely remembers being in the war, but
Yeah.
he thinks his memory is so bad because he has like PTSD. But it's actually because he's a simulation
yeah.
and has
Of
no
a-
real
of a-
memories.
The real person, the son's father, actually died in
more
the war.
complicated than the Blue Dream. Okay, so he's a program. Can I start doing
Yeah,
my,
you can-
my mind map?
I can start doing this. Jacob's mind map.
Yeah. Here you go, man.
So Matthew McConaughey is a program.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
There
a
was
video
a
game-
real version. There was a real
There was
version.
a real version based off of his likeness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a program in a video game.
Yep.
Made by his son in
Well,
real life.
I think the whole fishing part of the game is the game. My interpretation is the son's modding a fishing game. That there's already a fishing game. He's
Okay.
modding in Matthew McConaughey and the murder plot.
Yeah.
Are these
Because
sperm?
they have
They're-
they're little mice. They have memories that they show of Matthew McConaughey and his son fishing when his son is very, very young.
Oh, that's wholesome.
Which is how the fishing thing comes up.
Yeah, it's why the son likes fishing, I guess.
Yeah. So there's a lot of points in the movie where.
So where the fuck does justice come in?
Ooh. So
Is justice the fish that has to be caught to beat the game, and then that's like killing the stepfather?
sort of. The fish's name is Justice.
Okay.
Because at the end of the movie, there's a stowaway on board, so Matthew McConaughey can't just straight up throw the dude overboard. So what he does is he hooks Justice on his line, and the husband is like super.
Justice takes away the stepfather?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's well. I remember I was saying that the
Fun side note: the reason it works is because the husband is super drunk because he's been drinking all day to cope with the injuries set upon him because Duke hired a hitman to kill the husband for him, so Matthew McConaughey
here's
wouldn't have to.
Remember how I said the fish plot and the murder plot are at odds with each other, and how all the inhabitants of the island are very aware of everything that's going on? Is that actually the people on the island represent the actual video game, of which the goal is to catch the fish. So they actually try to thwart the murder plot. They're trying to put him on the path to catch the fish because that's the objective of the game.
Yeah,
That's
every
why-
single time they see.
Oh!
Yeah, so anytime you see him
Yeah.
talking to the townspeople, they know that the rules have changed to be like, hey, kill this guy. But they all keep telling him, just catch the damn fish.
Even the radio throughout the whole movie is just like, hey, nice weather on Plymouth Island. Now go out and catch that damn fish.
I gotta say, that's actually a really good touch.
Yeah.
Because it's
Did you not think it was... Because I knew from the beginning,
it was
obviously. but-
uncanny. I was like, this is like Burnout Paradise radio.
Yeah!
What's
Yeah! Oh god, this is a lot.
Yeah. So,
Matthew McConaughey has a program?
yeah,
Yes.
so moving back
The
a little
whole
bit.
island.
The whole thing is a program.
Yeah.
When he realizes, when he starts piecing it together, he takes out maps of Plymouth Island. Tiny island, nothing else on the whole map, just water.
And then he pulls out like a world atlas. Tiny island, fucking nothing else.
So Matthew...
So, in the film, earlier, before you find out about the whole twist that, like, oh, this is a video game, you notice little things, like there's this bird that always flies over the water. I can't remember what they call it, but
Osprey?
maybe, like something like that.
Okay.
Watch out, it is a glass board.
Yeah,
That
John's really protective over his whiteboard.
Sorry, I'm just saying it's glass. But yeah, so in the movie, you see that bird fly over the water, and then there's a point in the movie where Matthew McConaughey looks up and he sees the bird over the land, and he's like, "That's fucking weird." And then he tells Duke about it later, and Duke's just like, "Nah, I think you're mistaken. Those birds only fly over water. You definitely didn't see one flying over the land." And then you're like, "Okay, that's weird." And then you see another time where like he's trying to get out of bed, but his alarm hasn't gone off yet at like 4 a.m. exactly. And he's in bed, and he physically cannot get out of bed until the alarm goes off, then he can. He's driving his car down the road, and then there's a red light. He's putting his foot on the gas, and he cannot go anywhere, because the rules of the game haven't said he can go. The rules of the game say it's not 4 o'clock yet, so he cannot get out of bed. The rules of the game say a bird only flies over the water and not the land, so it was a glitch. And all of these
Matthew
things...
McConaughey has gone sentient.
Yeah, so all of these things are happening before the twist even happens. You're all like, what the fuck? Like, what? That's weird. Like, and all of this stuff happens, and you're just thinking to yourself, this is a really fucking weird movie. And then once you get the twist, you're like, oh.
And that's why it's cool to watch having it spoiled, is that you can see everything piecing it. Like, because everything about it is just, like...
It sounds
it's hard
like a
to
master class in writing.
Oh my
It's hard
God.
to describe while watching,
It's
like, without
weird.
just watching it, but everything about it is just so weird and uncanny.
Jacob, it is not a master class in writing.
I can guarantee you it
A
is.
lot of the dialogue blows.
What the fuck does Anne Hathaway do in this movie?
Not much, honestly.
She asked Matthew McConaughey to kill her husband.
So she's the program that kind of instilled Matthew McConaughey's...
So he's part of the
Wokeness.
Sun's mod. Sort of.
He is? Or
No,
she
Anne Hathaway is.
Yeah.
Or does the stepfather come into this? Is he just like,
They both
killed me?
No, they both come onto the island on a trip, and they're both programmed to be like the actual people.
Yeah.
So she's there like, please help, like, I really want him dead.
Oh.
I'm trying to get out of the situation. Like, she acts convincingly like probably how the actual person. And the stepfather, just a total asshole.
Total asshole?
Yeah, he's just like, come on, take me on the boat. We're gonna drink and catch a tuna, yeah? And he's like, no, fuck off. And he's just like, well, I give you a bunch of money because that'll do it. I can tell anyone to do whatever I want because I'm rich and we're on this little island where I can do whatever I want.
Not a master class in writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's another.
So we gotta get through the twist.
Yeah.
We're not through the twist yet.
What?
The stepson.
You're not through the twist yet, you mean?
Yeah. The stepson kills his stepfather in real life.
Yes.
And is there any consequence to that?
It shows at the end of the movie him in like a detention, and they play like the news broadcast of afterwards. This guy killed his stepfather, but he was in a troubled, home place. So I think they suggest that he's little to not punished.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say that he's gonna end up with the mom again.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh.
So yeah, it
Like
was
a
good.
So was he
thing.
also rich in the actual world? That is.
Probably.
I assume so.
I don't know if it doesn't. There's not a whole lot of the real world details. It doesn't even show any of the other people. It only shows the kid in the room walks out with a knife.
And then
And
that's
walks
it.
back in.
You don't see anything else of the real
Yeah.
world.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
This ballsy narrative.
You
work.
literally see it through the screen of his computer and nothing else. Literally and figuratively. So there's one part in that movie where I cannot get out of my head, and it is not for the reason that you're going to think of when I tell you. So there's a part of the movie where Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway fuck in his boat. Now, why would your son make a computer program of your mom and your dead dad fucking in a boat before a murder
He's
plot?
gone sentient.
And the fucked thing is, Matthew McConaughey is he's banging Anne Hathaway for maybe 2 minutes. And then he
How
just...
long would you last with
No, hear me out. He's banging her for maybe 2
What a
minutes.
justification.
For the record, 10 seconds at best. So he looks
4
at...
pumps.
Gone. Next day.
This could never be uploaded.
So he looks at Anne Hathaway, and they're maybe having sex for 2 minutes, and then he gets up, pushes her off of him, and then puts his pants back on, and he says, "That's it." And they just stop.
That's what I mean about how he's only doing it for the son. He's like, let me be clear.
What? He's like, "Let me be clear, I'm only doing this for Patrick.
Yeah.
Not you, not for love, but for Patrick."
I was roaring.
Me and Quinn were dying.
Because he's Matthew McConaughey, so he grunt slurs it. He stands up, he's like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And no one talks for 20 seconds, so I just gotta sit and stare and just
And even Anne Hathaway is looking, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right, girl, get it. What the fuck?"
And that's weird and kind of dumb, but in the context of this whole movie, it's you can't process whether or not this makes the movie good or bad, It's
I think this movie sounds amazing.
Right?
I love it,
Truthfully.
honestly.
Amazingly horrifying and...
So, are we ready to circle back to the beginning about the reception of the movie and our thoughts of the movie?
Yes.
So, can you see now why a bunch of audience members, particularly older couples, would walk out or be disgusted with the movie?
100%.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
it's not a concise narrative.
There's a movie that they were expecting. There's a movie that was much more probable.
Yeah.
That is 0%.
Oh, this all happens in the real world.
And then, regardless of what the experience of the movie actually is, just the shock of it not being what they expected would just turn a lot of people off.
When do we learn that it's not real life?
Thing is that the very subtle hints come from the very beginning, but it very slowly ramps up.
Yeah.
As every time they mention the sun, which is halfway often,
Basically,
you see shots of both of them, and they kind of look in the distance, and there's a connection between Matthew McConaughey and the sun.
The pacing of the clues is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
the best context I can give you is that the first 2 people to walk out, they left an hour into the movie before the twist was revealed. After the twist was revealed, the other 2 people walked out. And I was like, "Oh no."
I guess regardless of what the actual twist was, you could tell that this was
Yeah.
a different kind of movie. Than
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, you
another-
can tell. But it's also one of those movies, and I hate to use the term, but it definitely was Oscar baity. From the get-go. You could tell.
You
thought
don't
this
write a
movie was
narrative
Oscar
like
bait?
that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Interesting. Okay, maybe it's just it's colored by the reception of the movie, but I picture it as something that
Would just be forgotten.
yeah, like
sent to January to die.
like I have no idea how this movie was made and came out. I really don't.
That's true.
Like a wide release like this, it's kind of like obviously this movie wouldn't sell. It's batshit insane.
Yeah. Now we know why the ad department literally couldn't make
This
a
must
budget.
have been the pitch of the century.
Because I remember the
They
trailer.
must have
yeah.
had a pitch that was shitting gold.
The
Yeah.
trailer made it seem like the movie those other people were expecting. Because how else are you supposed to sell this movie?
Yeah.
You
You're not
don't.
gonna fucking make it a like Mr. Robot movie.
This is the fucking Matrix again.
Yeah. Pretty much.
They made The Matrix about a fish named Justice.
Technically, you could technically say this was the best video game movie I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Technically.
Technically.
I'd say that.
I like Tomb Raider.
I just
Tomb Raider was
as
good.
well.
Alicia Vikander?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to mention as well, just like
Dang.
make a known as well that like part of what I love so much about this movie that maybe corresponds with how people hated it and all the reaction reception is that at risk of sounding like a cranky old person, there's in movies especially and a lot of culture in the late 2010s is just so sterile and just delivering exactly what you're expecting because they don't want to scare away audience and they want to make money. Like like a Marvel movie would never be like this. Marvel is just so
Safe.
safe.
Well,
so just
if it ain't broke,
routine. It ain't broke, and that's the other thing that to grapple is that this isn't even a dunk on Marvel movies. I'm gonna go see every Marvel movie. I love watching them, but it was so refreshing to go into a movie.
and not know
And
what's
actually,
happening.
even if I did know, just to watch unfold something completely different from what people expect. Just a movie that is not afraid to just do something completely out there and blow away.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the theme of the year.
I
The
really
two
really
hope so.
movies
it
that
is.
came out this year that we've seen are Glass and this. And the
How
other...
wild was Glass?
We can do a talk about Glass later, but
Yeah,
it was.
Glass.
I've got thought like. It's made me think. If nothing else, it's worthy of.
I
that.
just want to watch a movie after we're done recording. I just want
Yeah.
to watch a movie.
It's good. We can do that.
Glass. There's a lot to hate about Glass, but I kind of like it in sort of an apologetic way. But we can go into it.
I can't bring myself to hate that movie.
Yeah.
Or even really dislike it.
But yeah, so that was Serenity.
I love daring narrative. I love it. I love how the actors are like outraged that the production company was just like, yeah, it's not gonna make money. We're not gonna promote it,
Like Quinn
and
said,
they're not supporting narrative.
It's a January release.
Yeah,
Fate
I
works
feel
like
like
that.
critics, especially like audience members, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna police your opinions on stuff, but I feel like critics, especially who are paid, are so like sour to just like say that the movie's trash and there's nothing redeemable about it.
Critique the narrative. Well, no, don't critique the narrative. Critique like the script.
Well, it's
Critique
like
the film
a
work.
Rotten
Critique-
Tomatoes kind of brain poisoning of, oh, this movie is bad. It gets the thumbs down.
Now,
One star.
as a rule to myself, I don't look at reviews for literally anything.
yeah, I don't.
Like I don't look at reviews for games. I don't look at reviews for movies. I don't do any of that.
I listen to what people whose opinions I respect have to say about a movie.
Exactly. I do
I
that.
take a look at score. Well, I go to the movie pages on IMDb and stuff, so I see the scores there.
No,
I
I
don't
don't do
pay-
that much.
I don't
pay it
ever
much
look at
mind.
Rotten Tomatoes because I don't know how their system works.
Well, no. And here's the deal.
Honestly.
And the thing is, I don't look at reviews, but I know someone who does, and every single time we have a conversation about anything in
That's the
general,
first thing that comes out of their
first thing
mouth?
comes out of his mouth. He's like, "Yeah, it was viewed really high on this," and I'm like,
Fuck off.
"I don't care
What did you think?
what that means. What like I exactly? I want a person to tell me what they thought. I don't want to look at a score because that is the most just degrading thing.
I don't think,
Because
cause
You can't look, especially like I don't mind like out of 10 because at least then you can get a general idea. But most of the time you see a 7 and you're like, fuck, what does it mean?
But here's the thing: if you're getting paid to critique something,
Exactly.
it's gonna be more brutal than wanting to go see it.
Mm.
You're getting paid to critique it. It's your responsibility
Exactly.
to critique it.
And that's why I'm kind of with Connor on what I do. I don't look at reviews. I only take the judgment and the review of what people I know or people I know who I know what their personality is and what their taste is and what they like.
Like, of course, there's some people who will say, I went to this movie, I didn't like it, but I might like it. Like, I can take that, I can draw that from it. From like certain people, and some people will say, "Oh, I like it for this reason." It's like, okay, that's something I'll like in this.
Yeah,
I like reviews. I've been reading more Polygon reviews. I like how
I like reviews with no number at the end, and I've seen more
just
and more
reading
of
it.
Speaking of Polygon, the last few BDG videos, not good.
Really?
I don't like them.
Man, no, I thought they were great.
I didn't like the Sonic one. The Sonic one was too much.
The Sonic one was
He
out
really
there.
leaned into it.
Oh,
I forget the last.
that one.
The last one he
Kingdom
did was
Hearts
the Kingdom
one.
Hearts.
I didn't see that one either.
That one was okay.
That one was a
That one was-
ride. That was a ride for me, especially because I've been trying to figure out the story of Kingdom Hearts for a while.
I've never played the games to like have a conscious
No,
memory.
Don't worry, you
accepted
never
I'm
will.
not gonna get into it. You know, like it's just too big an egg for me to crack right now.
That's one of the things where someone will be like, "Hey, have you ever played Kingdom Hearts?" And I'll say no with a smile on my face.
No.
No.
And like, the only thing I will say about Kingdom Hearts is one thing. My favorite franchise of all time is Metal Gear Solid. The plots and wholeheartedly fucking just the themes in those games, geopolitical fucking climates, fucking nanomachines, memes, not the actual memes. I mean like memes in generations and culture. Fucking nuclear.
They play into Metal Gear Solid, don't they?
Yeah.
And like language.
Fucking
culture.
language and culture. Nuclear deterrence, what it means to be a real patriot, to fight for your country or fight for yourself, or fight for who you love. I can understand all of it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But I can't understand a game with
But-
Mickey Mouse wearing a black hoodie with Cloud from fucking Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, why are they connected?
You know how the game actually started as a Square
Enix production, right?
production in an elevator with a Disney executive saying, "Hey, wouldn't it be crazy if?"
That's exactly how that game started.
Fuck off.
I shit
Yeah,
you not.
for real.
That is
Fuck
exactly
off.
how it started.
I respect that whole franchise
Also,
so
Kingdom-
much more.
Also, Kingdom Hearts was not supposed to exist. Like at
Of
all.
course it wasn't.
Sounds almost like a Serenity situation of just
that's
bold choice.
amazing.
And you know, there's an article I was reading and shared on my Twitter called "In Defense of Serenity," and they briefly mentioned just that there's a culture of movies that take bold twists that's kind of died off. Where early 2000s, like Sixth Sense, Seven, they listed exactly. They listed a bunch of others.
Requiem of a Dream.
Requiem of a Dream. They listed Eternal Sunshine, though I'm not familiar with that one. I don't know if it does this or not.
Oh, what's that one? Truman Show.
And even
Yeah.
Memento, and they were like, these movies aren't really that big a thing anymore. Besides maybe Shutter Island, but even that was almost 10 years ago now.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Yeah. And that's part of what I was saying about they don't want to surprise you anymore, and that this movie actually does it. It's just so refreshing.
You guys want to watch Shutter Island?
You don't get a lot of.
I'll watch Shutter
You
Island.
don't get a lot of big twists these days.
No, not really.
No. Anyway, you're an hour closer to your weekend. Now we're gonna go watch Shutter Island.
I'm down.
I'm down. It don't matter to me.
What a day.
But yeah, go see Serenity. Honestly, like
But, you know, prepare yourself.
absolutely.
I think
take the right
if you've
precautions.
listened to all of this, you will now know whether or not you are going to go see Serenity.
Yeah. You're pretty aware. And, you know, that's like, what, 4 people?
Yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
YouTube one.
Love you too.
I was talking to you.
Oh. Oh.